Hi, how you doing? Welcome to The World This Week by Wah. I am Wah, and we'll be reading you the news for the week. These are all stories I put together on my website. It's called robotpirateninja.com. You can just search Google for it. Basically, I'm going to go through all the stories that I thought were important this last week, read you a few quotes, see what we got here. This is my first time doing this. I've been thinking about reading to you for a while. I do a lot of writing, but well, today I'm just going to talk. Maybe that'll be faster. I started off last Sunday talking about the executive experience in Alaska. A big Palin week, of course. I mean, really historic developments. I mean, and it's hilarious. The chart I put up was the yearly dividend amounts. This is basically how much Alaska gives to all its citizens each and every year. This last year with this, what is it, $1,654 they sent out. Palin also passed out $1,200 plus Bush's money. Not a bad year to be in Alaska. A lot of the oil, it's good money. Talk a little bit about the political conventions, coverage there, what words they use, what they were talking about. The New York Times, pretty good stuff. The other thing that happened after the conventions, MSNBC decided that Olbermann and Chris Matthews shouldn't be on there because they were fighting each other all the time, and then that what the fuck what's his name, Schuster. They were basically bickering. They got shut down. MSNBC has kind of a history of doing this. Back before 2004, I wrote about this. Actually, it was in 2003. They had the only show on any of the cable networks that had the slightest bit of reservation about going into Iraq. It was the Donahue show, so they canceled that and replaced it with, I think it was literally called Countdown Iraq. Was the one? Yeah, that is. That's what they replaced this show with. MSNBC, of course, is owned by GE. They, whatever. We'll get to that. I talked about it on the site. You can look it up. Little flash game, Bloons Tower Defense 3. If you're bored at work, great stuff. You have little monkeys that throw darts at balloons. It's not Spore, but it's pretty solid. Oh, it turns out that, here, let go. September 4, 2008. Chemicals in marijuana may be useful in fighting MRSA, a kind of staph bacterium that is resistant to certain antibiotics. Researchers in Italy and the UK tested 5 major marijuana chemicals called cannabinoids on different strains of MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. All 5 showed germ-killing activity against the MRSA strains in the lab tests. Some synthetic cannabinoids also showed germ-killing capability. The scientists note that cannabinoids kill bacteria in a different way than traditional antibiotics, meaning they might be able to bypass bacterial resistance. At least 2 of the cannabinoids don't have mood-altering effects, so there could be ways to use these substances without creating the high of marijuana. Don't know why you want to do that. You got a disease that none of our other things can kill, and it will kill you? Smoke this joint. You alright? Feel good? Alright, go home. Yeah, that's obviously something that should be totally illegal. Put some music up on there too. Devin the Dude. Not too bad. Nice little hip-hop. Talked a little bit more about Pakistan. So, you know, well, Pakistan has reportedly blocked a major fuel supply route for Western forces in Afghanistan in response to a raid by U.S. forces in northwest Pakistan earlier this week, the defense minister said. U.S. forces attacked suspected fighter groups inside Pakistani territory on Wednesday, killing 20 people, including women and children. Pakistani officials drawing a furious response from the Pakistani government. Chaudhry Ahmed Mukhtar, Pakistan's defense minister, said on Saturday, "We have told them that we will take action, and we have already taken action today. We have stopped the supply of oil, and this will tell them how serious we are," he told Pakistan's Dawn television. This is off of the Al Jazeera English site. Basically, I'm just talking about some of this before. The other stuff that happened in Afghanistan, they're kind of getting pissed off that we keep blowing them up. We've got a lot of air power, but we don't have a lot of ground power. So when they find a whole bunch of bad guys, or who they think are bad guys, they call in the big airstrikes and rock them, sock them. They did this, they had an ABC, had a piece on it. It was bad, and it's happened a lot this year. The militants figured out how to do it, I think, a lot better, and I think we've gotten a little frustrated. So Afghanistan's not happy with us. They found some cool stuff up in, where was it, in Bern. Let's see, in the Swiss Alps, basically. 5,000 years ago, some hunters got killed. They got covered in snow, and It's been covered in snow for the last 5,000 years. Luckily, snow's melting. A lot! So they found some cool little toys. Russia, Georgia, and South Park. This is funny. Officials in South Ossetia said Friday that Russia intends eventually to absorb the breakaway Georgian province. Oh, that's not the funny part. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev and the region's leader, Eduard Kokoity, discussed South Ossetia's future earlier this week in Moscow. South Ossetian Parliamentary Speaker Zanar Gasayev said Russia will absorb South Ossetia in several years, or earlier, a position that was firmly stated by both leaders. Gasayev said a Kremlin spokeswoman said she had no information and declined immediate comment. Moscow recognized South Ossetia and Abkhazia, second separatist region of Georgia, as independent, drawing criticism from the West. Russia found itself unable to shore up its own international support from China, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so they're planning on actually taking over this place. This will come in a little bit later when we get back to making fun of Fallon. Sorry, I think it's like hilarious. Yeah, so then they also, prosecutors in Russia wanted to ban South Park, basically calling it extremist. The one that got them was the episode called Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics on the cartoon's website, and features the cast singing Christmas carols. They actually don't really talk about it. They do talk about a Russian law that got passed in 2006 that widened the definition of extremism to include, quote, the abasement of national dignity and, quote, inciting religious and national hatred. Yeah, they're going the wrong direction. Let's see, what else? Oh, I've been following this Thai Roslyn website. I was a Battlestar Galactica fan. And it's really pretty funny. Check it out, Thai, T-I-G-H, Roslyn, R-O-S-L-A-N. And watch the show, too, to get the DVDs. The first few seasons were great. I think there's one episode left. But they're really funny. They did a green screen thing with it. That was the Walter Reed screw-up at the Republican convention. Some lazy person like Googled stock photography for Walter Reed, because of course, you know, Kane is a POW. I've heard that, actually. I'm not going to dispute it at all. I think it's true. He was a POW. So they wanted to use Walter Reed behind to, you know, do the whole military thing. And so they picked Walter Reed, but it was Walter Reed Middle School. Just the incompetence, it's crazy. Oh, and then I did a good review for Spore, the PC game. PC version, I've been waiting for this thing for 2 years. Loved it. I haven't gone back. I'm still going through the universe stuff. I think there's a couple more things they need to iron out a little bit, maybe. But it's the stuff that's on there is incredible. The tools that are a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what else other people come up with. And yeah, see some really cool stuff. I'm liking it so far. I've got a couple of my designs up there for just the creature stuff. The designers in it are amazing. You really, if they make like an export format for the Spore stuff, you can take the vehicles, creatures, whatever, export these 3D animated models and put them into anything easily. It's really good and really pretty powerful, I think.